We start off in the first race with Ile de France.
Yeah, and this is a type of filly that's shown us some quality work at home, but we haven't been too hard on her. You know, the grass hasn't been too good here, so we've taken our time with her. She'll probably need the run, need the experience, be a bit green, but she's got ability and definitely has an each-way chance.
Yes, obviously the change in venue would definitely count against her. She's a filly that I'm hoping to get into the local ready-to-run race in November. Just worried about the inside course, but she should be finishing strongly.
And then what can you tell us about African Daisy, who's in the second?
African Daisy is a nice filly. She's going to want a lot further. Let's hope for a place. I'd be very happy.
Okay, then only to win, she's anything but disappointing.
Yeah, very consistent filly, in good form once again, and I expect it to be right there.
Chariots of Gold in the third race. You've always had high hopes for her.
Yeah, she's a top filly. She is coming back after a break over a distance way short of her best. Yeah, a good run is expected. Whether she can win a race like this on the inside course over a mile, I'm not too sure. But a good run is expected.
Yeah, I thought she won a nice race last time out, Andy. Probably strip a fitter filly from that. So really just a run to keep her going, and then we'll be looking at the feature races, you know, come November, December time.
It's nice coming out here in the morning. You hear things that are sometimes valuable, and Lyle appeared to be pleased with the work of Social Order this morning, but you also have Carbon Atom and Silver God in the same race.
Yes, in terms of match fitness and course and distance, I'd say obviously Carbon Atom, but he is a puppy that's only won one race, and the other two are both hard knockers that are having their preparations. Even though Silver God is a one-time winner, I mean, he has run against the best. I think this is probably going to be sharp for both of those two, and I think I have to agree with Lyle, but there is a bit of class in the race, and yeah, I'll be happy for them all to run well. Obviously, Carbon's got to have some sort of winning chance.
The same applies to Gimme Hope, Joanna. Her graph is looking very positive.
Yeah, she's really turned the corner, model of consistency. She gets a sex allowance in this race. It's highly competitive, but course and distance suited, and I expect her to run well.
All right, should he get into the race? Boxcar's been picking up some checks.
Yeah, actually it's very disappointing that he's not in the race. I thought his preparation run was brilliant, and you say picking up checks, but he's not really. I think he's progressive. I think he's going to win his races, and well, if not on Saturday, he's a horse to follow after that.
Gov, we all know what happened with Who's the Boss Now. That race was never run, so he remains a horse coming back from a little bit of a break.
He does, Andy. A little bit of an inconvenience, but he's well drawn here. I think the trip should be right for a return run, and he's obviously got lots of class. So while I'm not making him a good thing, I do think he'll be competitive.
Right, there was 750,000 Rand on the table. There's now R500,000 Rand on the table, split two ways, which is probably a good result at the end of the day. And you've got Hakeem in the first of those two split races.
Yeah, he's very well. He's come on a lot from his last run, but you know, we've drawn extremely badly, so we're very hopeful.
So even if you're drawn badly at TURFFONTEIN, you could have been drawn badly at the Vol. You just don't know, really.
We don't know, but now we do know. You know, we've drawn very bad, and it's a massive disadvantage at that.
The first of the split races, Count Tassilo and Purple Diamond find themselves in the 7th of the afternoon.
Yeah, very competitive race. Purple Diamond seems to be coming right at the right time. The blinkers seem to just help him concentrate a little bit more. And Count Tassilo's also been doing very well, hasn't really put a foot wrong. Will enjoy the course and distance. Obviously drawn in the car park, but you know, it's rubber the green. We take it on the chin. And yeah, I think they're both in with maybe place chances. It's tough to put your head on a block in a competitive handicap like this.
Okay, well, what about Mujallid, who's in the 8th?
Yeah, he's a classy horse. His work has been exceptional, but also drawn in the car park. Going to need a lot of luck in running.
We move on to the 8th there. The other split is Bold Viking and London Secret in the 8th.
Yeah, obviously I think the tougher race. These horses have both had very good preparations. Obviously, the filly's drawn poorly. If she had a draw, I would actually be quite upbeat about a place quartet chance. But she can quicken up, and if they go hard, maybe she will be running on. And Bold Viking, we are coming back in trip. However, he did disappoint us for quite some time over further, and only when we dropped him back to the mile did he win a very good race. And dropping him back an extra 100 meters, maybe it works out.
And I didn't spot at the bottom of the page that Pilo is also in that particular contest.
Yeah, Pilo, if he had a decent draw, I'd really be upbeat. His prep was all wrong. He was rushed and he went far too hard, and he had to compound. And unfortunately, well, that cost him a place in the original field. Fortunately, he has got in now, although it is of a poor draw. If he finds himself in the right place in the race, he's definitely got a chance.
Then, of course, Zouave, I think it probably suits him, because that just about looks to be his ultimate trip on his ultimate track.
Yeah, I'd say track and trip perfect. 61 on a little horse like him, that's quite an impost, so I hope he can deal with that. But I think the good draw should hopefully save us a length or two, and if you can just sit, hopefully not out of his ground. I mean, he's been winning from shocking draws and running good races from shocking draws. Now he's drawn 3. That's a big help. So I think that's going to save us a good couple of lengths. Hopefully that can negate the big weight. But it's a strange looking handicap, and you know, I look at it and I don't think we're that well in handicap wise. So I think it's a very, very open race.
And then you've got the pair of Excalibur's Return and Glamorous Scandal. They're both in the 9th.
Yeah, they're not going Hollywood, obviously, but Glamorous Scandal ran a nice race last time out. If she can reproduce that, she must have a chance. And Excalibur's Return, just got to come back to her best and must have an each-way chance then.
The final race of the program sees Mutrib take part in race 10.
Yeah, he's been also a little disappointing. You know, this is his first run over this trip as a gelding, so you know, hopefully he can bring some of his best previous form to the track. We're just hopeful.
Volcanic Sunset is a horse that we tried in KZN, and we thought it would suit him there. However, he just didn't fire up there. He ran some fair races. His work is good, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him up his game.
Obviously, there are lots of reasons given, the inclement weather. We haven't had rain, all the rest of it. But I think your initial point is right. The Emerald Cup was a sand track race, specifically because that time of the year the grass is not good. So I think it was a bit ambitious to think that you could have a 28-horse field on the grass on the same day and expect everything to go swimmingly. I think we got away with it a couple of times, but maybe they've got to revise the timetable a little bit there. I personally think in the middle of December, when you've got the Summer Cup and the big races for the short spring season out the way, the grass at the Vaal would be in pristine condition, and then it would be a spectacle.
I've spoken to TARRY, I've spoken to Geoff, I've spoken to a few people about the decision that was come to. I know that you're a kind of guy that has a glass half full rather than half empty. What's your take on the decision to move the meeting and to split the race?
Yeah, obviously it was an extremely hard decision. Personally, I would have liked to just seen the race moved to a later time in the year and run the race, because I think it's a exciting format and it should continue, but maybe it's just at the wrong time of the year, putting pressure on the tracks to be ready when it's not possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have missed the fact that it has always been a sand race for the last 10 years, and the times that they have run the Grand Heritage, the track hasn't been great.
Yeah, so it's something to consider for next year. We live and learn, and hopefully we learn.
Listen, you couldn't have it at the Vaal this week. I mean, whether you postpone till the next week and then the next month, I don't know what the parameters are in terms of when cut-off is, or just can it and renominate in December. There are many ways to skin a cat, and unfortunately people have to make decisions. A decision was made. It is what it is, and we're racing on Saturday.
Funny enough, I was speaking to Jeff Woodruff early on, and he said mid-December would be fantastic. The course would be in absolutely pristine condition. Would that suit your program?
What about the horses that are carded, Andrew? Horses that you've got owners that have thought they're in the race, and now all of a sudden they're not in the race. Now, in December, they don't qualify. There's many ways to look at it. So whose perspective should we be looking at from? The horse, the trainer, the owner? I'm not too sure.